Hello everyone, today we're looking at the Aoshima Vertex Toyota Soarer. So let's see exactly what is in the box. A couple of different variations of this kit. You can get the D1 box arm, and they're essentially exactly the same kit. There are no differences at all. Now first off, I'll show you the clear parts. Windows etc. all moulded in one. And then you have the rear lights and then the fog lights for the standard car, front lights and various other little bits and pieces as well, depending on what actual kit you get. There are two different versions of the rear lights. You've got those and then those. Now, what I'll do is I'll show you the body first. This is of course your wide bodied version. Look. You know, it's more at the rear. Now, everything's moulded in on this, which for me is a shame because I've not really ever been a fan of those canards on the real car. I much prefer the Vertex kits on these Soarers without those, and it does look like quite a lot of effort to take them off and do it properly without making a complete mess of the kit. You've got the bonnet pins moulded in. And then, I just wanted to show you these grills. They aren't actual holes, so you're going to have to open them up if you want to go for, the super realism look. And I'm actually struggling to find any mould lines, apart from the very small ones on the roof. There aren't many at all. There are some on the rear bumper. You just have to take my word for it on these. They are there, but it's quite hard to show you with it being white. You can just see it there, look, on the left hand side. But apart from that, I mean, it's a nicely moulded body. You've got some pins on the rear as well. They must have just used the same body for the D1 boxed kits. However, the D1 cars have no interior. However, the kits do. So that's an awful lot of work you need to do if you want to replicate the drift car. But as we're on about the road car, I'll show you this one. You have your door cards there, which certainly differentiate where the the rear cards are and the front cards are, but you have to rescribe a line up there, I think, because that doesn't look great at all. Yeah. Now, you've got the sat nav at the front, rear view mirror and the steering column, automatic gear shifter and then your handbrake, and then your seats should you wish to use them. They're quite luxurious leather looking seats. And you've got these seat backings as well. They look really cool. They give you the netted look, which is nice. I like that. Now, what shall I show you next? Right, while we're on the interior bits, you do get part of this Hashi rear seat set, which seems to come in a lot of Aoshima kits. It's basically just this bucket seat with holes that need to be drilled out for harnesses, and then you get this very cool looking steering wheel. But these seats don't need an awful lot of work really, just a little bit of tidying up and those holes drilled. Rest of your interior. As always with most of Aoshima's kits, you of course, as you've seen, get separate door cards, which is very nice. Seats are moulded in there with the speakers and your third brake light. And you've got the armrest, and of course everything is ready to be painted, detailed and flocked. Wing mirrors, there you have them. They do just attach as they are, there's no sort of pins or anything like that. There is your third brake light and your number plates. And then with this kit you only get to build it right hand drive. I don't know if any of the other Soarer kits you can do left hand drive, but this one in particular is only right hand drive. But there you have it. Nicely detailed. Not the best I've seen, but still pretty good. You got the pedals in there as well, and should you want to change that to manual, you are going to have to do a bit of work on there. and add an extra pedal, of course. There is of course your dashboard details, and then the steering wheel, and then of course just some wipers. Now I'll show you the chassis. Here you have it. It looks very similar to the Aristo kit's chassis, very similar. Every single thing is moulded in, which is a bit of a letdown, but it's, you know, it's easily take this out and add a different engine. I've seen it done. But here you have it. Spare wheel well. For the most part everything's separate, but not at this end. But apart from that, it's very nicely detailed. Very nicely detailed. Take your time with the painting and weathering, you could get it looking spot on. Now, here is of course your front subframe and under tray area with the lower arms. You've got the exhaust there for the standard car. And then here we have some brakes, which they're a bit of a disappointment. They look a bit naff, to be honest. I won't be using those personally, and I wouldn't suggest it. If you could raid the parts box, it would add to the realism of this model, because I really don't think they do this car justice. You've got the radiator at the front, the air shocks, and then the front hubs, and then your rear drive shaft, anti-roll bar, and then steering arm. I'll flip this over and show you the rear subframe, and is that the rear? Yes it is, that's the rear, and then you've got the other bits of the rear suspension as well. Very cool indeed. Shame those brakes let it down, really. Now, there's a couple of little bits knocking about this kit now. Decals I will show you. You get the Vertex Ridge Sunstrip, which is quite cool. Some Vertex Ridge number plates, which are cool, but it would have been nice for some, given that it's the road car, some Japanese plates. Of course, the lovely digital dash, and then some Toyota badges, and then various Vertex ones as well, and some centre caps for the wheels. Now on to the remaining sprues left in the kit. This one is of course your humongous Japanese style exhaust in two parts, which in my experience is quite difficult to get a perfect line. You are much easier or much better off making your own. And I have filmed a video of how to do this, guys, but messed it up completely. But just bear with me and I will get it up there for you. But there's that one for you. These are, I don't actually know what these are, but they look to be, I'm just having a look, sorry guys. I don't actually know what they are. I'm stumped on those. They will of course be used, they're in the kit. Now these are the standard Soarer wheels, which aren't great on the Soarer personally, with the exhaust tips and then wing mirror inserts, but they could look great on something else. On a smaller car, they would look fantastic. And there's the rears of them for you. And there's a set of polycaps in there and instructions, link in the description, guys. Go take a look at that if you want. And here are your wheels, a set of Volk wheels. They seem to come in a lot of Aoshima kits. And as always, they are chrome plated. You can do as you wish with those. And all the same width. And there you have it, guys. I've been after this kit for a while, and to be perfectly honest, there isn't many things that I can see mainly wrong with it. I mean, the moulded in bits on the body you could sand off. The canard thing is just a personal thing. You can't fault Aoshima for that, but maybe if they weren't fitted like the top secret Sylvia, which is coming up next, by the way, then that would have been a bit better. But that's just a personal thing. But yeah, I mean, it's nice to get an extra set of wheels in a kit that could be used on something else. I can't really fault the chassis apart from the moulded in bits. That's a little bit of a letdown, but you know, it can be done and made to look very nice. So, I mean, on the whole, I'm going to give it probably a 9 out of 10. It loses a point on the chassis, I think, just for that moulded in bit. You know, like I said, what you can do with it is great, but there's a lot moulded in at the front, and it does make life very difficult to paint it. But But yeah, on the whole, it's an epic kit. I can't wait to get this done. Very, very cool. Let me know if you've built one, guys. And if you've gone all out and done what I've seen others do and, you know, completely stripped the interior, gone for the full drift look. I might go for sort of a street drifter look on this. Standardish looking, you know, nothing crazy. Maybe a few little details in the interior, but we'll see. And coming up next, we have the Aoshima top secret Nissan Silvia S15. I'll see you there, guys. Take it easy. Bye-bye.